Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So, today I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things that I've been seeing unfold with my clients, with myself, and how we are truly at the forefront of the ascension and why it is so important for you to step into your multidimensional embodiment. So, I'm going to make a clear difference. Just because you have an awakening doesn't mean that you have embodied all of the things that you're meant to embody. Those of us who have been on this journey understand that it's a spiral, okay? You do healing, you do remembrance, you have some activations, you do healing, you remember more, and it keeps going upwards. So there are those of us that are at this point in our journey where we've done a lot of the healing and our vibration has elevated to a point where we are ready for more remembrance, more of the multidimensional embodiment of our higher soul aspects. These are our lifetimes on other planets. These are our lifetimes as ascended masters, as really higher dimensional beings. And we are actually reclaiming our divine gifts. So I'm going to dive into first what I saw during one of my activations that really solidified this is what I'm here to do. And that activation took me back to a spaceship where I saw how the new human body was made and or how it was created. And it was created like a hybrid. So it is much more advanced than some of the multidimensional um, beings and their I guess their high-tech body, how they were created. And the reason why ours is more advanced is because of the crystalline heart. So what Earth has that some of the other galactic species hasn't had up until this point is that mastery over emotions. And because we live on such a dense planet, the extreme duality and polarity and our mastery over that limitation. So, what was first highlighted to me was the crystalline heart. And the crystalline heart is the foundation of all of the energies and frequencies of New Earth. It is literally the core foundation of New Earth, is the heart energy. And my understanding, the crystalline heart is just the higher frequency of Christ conscious love, of love in general. And it is different than Christ consciousness. So I want to mention that. But when you tune into the energy of something that is crystalline, you do feel it is a higher frequency. So there's that. Then we have the upgraded chakras. And I was shown that we have more chakras than the seven chakras. It wasn't shown to me very clearly how many more, but I could see in the vision we have a lot more that is above the crown, and then a few more that is below the root. And those chakras are upgraded, are higher frequency in order to hold more light. Additionally, when we move beyond the human mind, we have very intricate, high-tech brain functions that allows our connection to multidimensional beings. And it was very clear in the vision that we have come with um, instructions or connections or agreements to certain galactic societies, beings, councils, and we have agreed to work with them to channel the messages, to bring their frequency through. And each person has a different team And as you elevate in consciousness, your team switches out. But um, they just want to make sure we understand it's different for each person. So that's why it's important that you get activated into your council, right? Um, and then finally, I saw the templates. And of course, our human brain can only visualize things in visions that actually make sense to us. But I'm sure from an energetic standpoint, it is so much more complex. To me, it just looks like these beautiful, sacred geometry grids and things like that, and energy grids. And these templates are almost like overlaid on top of us. Every single person has a Christ consciousness template. They also have individual or personal templates that we are meant to anchor into the collective. They are not always activated. And that's the point, is because our body is so dense, we go through this process of forgetting. So our DNA is not activated. And so we go through this process of activating those templates or activating our remembrance of those templates. So in one of my sessions, and this is a personal session for me, I saw the, it was like the New Earth family template was illuminated. It literally looked like a neon stamp or something inside of my body got illuminated, right? They like, boom, stamp, there's your template. And that's one of the templates that I hold. And when I tune into that vision, what does a new earth family look like? And the way that they showed it to me was that in New Earth, the children are self-led. The children are independent, they are creative, they are inherently intuitive, and it is the parents that follow. There is nothing that the parents do that um, insinuate any type of control. We follow the children, and we actually create environments and spaces and opportunities for them to nurture their unique um, essence of who they are and to help them develop their gifts further. But this is very much the new earth. And I'll say, me explaining this sounds very like technical, but I'll give you a personal example of how I've always done this. And my husband always says, like, you're not watching our kids. Like, and then I've seen other parents, they're very, like, I don't want to call it like overbearing, but like they're very protective of their kids. Like anything they do is they're like this fragile being, but they're not. My kids, when we go out, they walk, they run. Um, they are usually pretty independent. They want to walk through the store by themselves. And I'm like, okay, like go ahead, do that. We just follow behind them. And my kids love like exploring, and they have their autonomy too. Because sometimes I will say, like, I want to go out, and my son will be like, no, I don't want to go out. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Um, Fine, we won't do that. Or if it's something urgent and I do have to go out, we would invite them. Like I would invite them. I'm going out. Would you like to come with me? And usually it garners like a yes, like I would like to go with you. Um, and they're very, very attuned to specifics. So if I say, okay, I'm going to go to the supermarket, but instead we go to like the park, my son would be like, no, I don't want to go to the park. You said we were going to the supermarket, and that's what I agreed to, that we're going to go to the supermarket. And he'll say, like, I want to go to the supermarket. So that's a whole thing. My other one, I feel like he's too young to speak, so we don't know, like, we don't communicate with him verbally, but he is very independent and he will say, like, no, he doesn't want certain things. Like, no, he doesn't want that. Um, so really, I saw the illumination of like the template for that. Now, whether consciously or unconsciously, we are fulfilling our mission in some way. But for many of us, we are actually elevating into the next frequency. And in these higher frequencies, our mission changes. Our mission changes to serve the collective. So perhaps you have been supporting in a way that feels fulfilling for you. And as your consciousness expands, you might be called to hold a bigger role. And this bigger role can be a new earth builder, like you are actually on the forefront, doing the footwork, doing the building, connecting and creating communities. You can actually have like a very specific role if your background is in law and science and engineering and all of those, and you perhaps have templates and a divine mission to make innovation in those areas. And I've seen in the vision as well, I'm here to activate people who aren't all like, they're not all in the healing light work field as a coach or like a spiritual teacher, but they may hold very important roles in society, such as in politics, in big business, and in like inventors. And when you connect with that higher consciousness frequency, you begin to get the downloads of what you're here to do. And you have to have a certain level of inner mastery to be able to receive these frequencies and these ideas that is communicated from your higher self and your councils that you work with. Because sometimes your councils, each council has um, a different role. And so their communication with you is very specific for the role that they play and maybe your part in that role. And um, I've also seen with some of my clients, they are told in the activations, the frequencies that are activated, and then they were given information that certain people you meet will hold the same frequencies, and you won't be able to find them until you are activated. And so it's really about divine timing and everybody stepping into the role they came here to play and remembering their bigger mission, right? So that was very, very interesting and also was very enlightening because it gives us all an idea that there is more beyond healing, and that if you feel resonant to having a bigger soul mission, a bigger galactic communication or galactic mission. And part of that process is anchoring more of your multidimensional self, as well as bringing through the gifts that you are meant to hold in this lifetime, right? And so I've noticed in my activations, with my clients' activations, we we were given these elevated gifts. It was like our throats got upgraded with like music boxes. Our third eye got activated and attuned really to newer and higher frequencies. So one of the music boxes that got activated, it was saying that now everything you speak is attuned to a certain frequency, and people hear that frequency. And it is that we are like oscillating and sharing our voice, but our voice now speaks true to the frequency we're meant to share. Um, the third eye is refined to be able to connect telepathically with certain things. And I remember one session, we even got these enhanced auditory like devices so that we can connect to the beings in the water. And these were like the whales and the dolphins and those frequencies, and being shown how those frequencies are actually really, really prominent in New Earth. We were also being activated in ancient wisdom. And so there's two different frequencies for that, which I was really surprised. It was like ancient, um, ancient, traditional, like earth medicine, more of that shamanic type energy, and even older than shamanic type energy, but learning how to work with the natural elements. And then there is the other frequency which was coming through, which is higher, high tech, new information, right? This is like high tech innovations and maybe like working with the quantum. And so it does, like, even when you talk about it, you can feel there's a difference of energy there. And so, and mind you, this is different people that I'm talking about, and all of these things are being activated within them. Very, very unique, right? I can sense some of them are very galactic. I can also sense some of them are very like very earth, working with Gaia. Others are very much with the central sun. And so we each carry our unique divine frequency and our unique divine mission for New Earth. And so if this is resonating with you and you realize, okay, I've reached a level of inner mastery, but I'm ready to be activated into remembrance, and to actually awaken those dormant codes and my templates, book a call with me. I will put a link for my one-on-one mentorship. My mentorships are limited in space, so I highly encourage you to reach out, and so that we can connect and see how I can best support you. Other than that, I do have the original 7 keys for the chakra activations. So those are just upgrading your basic 7 chakras, and that is a free gift. So you can also find that in the link below. As always, thank you all for tuning in. I'm very excited to share more about the ascension with you, and I will catch you in the next episode.